Hey all, Splendid Snakeo here with another custom figure review. You're probably looking at it thinking, custom? What's custom about it? Well, let me go over that. We have here the Transformers Prime Voyager first edition stroke custom, bulkhead. What's custom about it? Because you may be looking at it and think there's nothing completely different about it. Well, a lot, but at the same time not a lot. I've basically given him the legs from the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise bulkhead. Just 1 second, I will get the remainders. This one. So these bad boys are over here, and them bad boys are here. Because as much as I thought the first edition was almost perfect, one thing I really despised, well not despised, but just thought was off, was his legs. And then when I finally got my hands on the Robots in Disguise edition and I had a real look at the legs, and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty spot on. I tried to fathom a way to do it, and it's going to pain some people who are truly serious collectors that I have had to cut up honestly more than I would like to of the first edition. But I am extremely happy with the end result, and it's kind of a work in progress because there's like one more thing I'm trying to figure out how to do, and it's driving me crazy, and I've been stuck on it for almost a week now. So I'm hoping maybe if I put this video out I can get a few suggestions that I might be able to then incorporate. We shall see. As you can see, he's missing this little piece here. I do have that. That's actually attached to the back panel, which is the problem I'm having, but I'll go over that in the transformation. But as you can see, I've managed to get the legs on here and it can still transform. Attaching that, I've already tried one thing which I could put back on, which basically I've got this hinge which I've misplaced it somewhere, which basically allowed me to fold it in or even fold it around to behind from when it goes into robot mode. But let's like I said, go over that. The look of it, I think, is very, very good. You're going to see a lot of white because it's I use this new product that I've got called styrene, which is just this like plastic stuff. I got it off from a buyer on eBay, and this stuff is just absolutely awesome. I stumbled onto the styrene in this random video I came across, and the guy said that he lives by it, and I can understand why. The stuff is absolutely amazing. And if you want to customize Transformers, this stuff is just, I can't wait to see what I can do with it. It's crazy. I've literally only used about like a sheet that big, and not even a strip, about a 1 inch thick strip about that big, and that's all I've used so far, and I've just done so much with it. And yeah, and you will see what I've done. So yeah, like I said, the legs, the front wheels are there, and he can still roll fine. Ignore the split, it's because I've had to transform him so many times that's come a bit loose, but I can fix that later. But yeah, because to try and get it to work, I've had to transform it, try something, transform it back, try something, transform it back, try something. So that's come a bit loose, but that's just, I do that with a bit of glue. And I think it looks really, really good. I think it's got a really, really nice look to it. It's a bit of a gap there, and I think I will fill that in when I'm finished with a bit of styrene to hide that. That shouldn't be absolutely fine. But apart from that, like I said, it looks really, really good. So let's go into transformation. Transform almost identical, well, it's actually identical in both aspects. Actually, before I do that, I'll show you the underside. So here is the underside of the beast. And you can see I've had to put in the whole of the like the innards of the RID bulkhead, and that's what this is. You'll see that a lot more in the robot mode. So let's go to transformation quickly. I'm not going to like tell you how I'm doing it, I'm just going to do it, and I will show you some of the painful things I've had to do in order to get this to work. Okay, so one of the first things I can show you is this part here. If my camera wants to focus, there you go. You see this never used to be on here. This part here is off the RID one, and I've got a little strip of styrene there. I've just glued it onto the bottom of this first edition's bumper, and that just like goes over there. I did try and incorporate the other one because I didn't think it looked better, plus it clipped into the bit a lot better, but there just was no real way to put it without cutting out chunks of the legs, and I thought as I was going for the look of the legs, it's kind of pointless. Anyway, moving on. As you can see here, there's a little white peg. I've had to cut out a small little chunk from in there and file down a bit of styrene, if I show you like that. So that now goes up. Bumper's gone down a bit, there you go. That goes up and just fits in there like that, very nicely. Had to cut out pretty much the entire flat part there, plus the bit that was going up, and cut this bit in half. So it just goes in there really nice. Like I said, there's a bit of a gap at the back there, but I think I will fill that in. I haven't painted this or anything, which is why I've left these things white deliberately. So anyway, bring these down, get the arms out of the way. Then if I open up and accordion this whole section down, you can see there's plenty of white in there. If I get this door out of the way, you might be able to see a bit clearer. So let's do the front part, because then I can put the doors around properly and get them out of the way. Don't know why, but my left light is a lot tighter than my right light for some reason. Okay, so if I get the arms out of the way also, you can see that basically I've layered this stuff on here. It's not that nice looking at, but it's on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. I've actually glued around this and around that, plus into there, and layered it and clipped it on, so it's really in there. In fact, if I go, there you go. So you can see all there's like, focus, come on, stupid phone. Why don't you like me? I don't know how I can show you, but there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers there of this just to bring it down. And the reason I had to do that was simply just to get it to the right height, because without it he was very stumpy. Very stumpy. So it looks, like I said, it looks a bit weird, and it's very white, which is what styrene is, but I haven't painted this at all. So I just wanted to show you guys, but it puts it in the right place, and then I can just peg that in there. Had to trim that part down that goes in there, bring these side doors back, bring the arms around, and you see there's like a little cup here for his head, which I didn't have to adjust or anything. I had to cut off this part from these grey bits, and then I just glued this straight in. I gave him a little bit of a lip so they can really get snug in there, and that has never come off once since I've done it. So I've had to cut. This part here is attached on all 4, if I show you up close, all 4 of these screws is all attached to this. So I've had to cut, I took it all off, and then I cut it down, and I put them on individually, and I've glued them in place so they can't rotate with the screws, which also helped with the stability of the whole mechanism. So that's pretty cool. Oh, can't line that up. There you go. Yeah, get the wheels out the way, get the arms down, rotate them around, hands out, shoulders back, hands down, shoulders back. And then, like you do in the RID one, you rotate these around, you bring the grey part forward, you bring the knee part down, clip them in, and rotate that around. Kind of did that partly. And then there we have a, if you ask me, incredibly show accurate looking Bulkhead. And I think that guy, well, you tell me, what do you think? Which ones do you think looks better? As you can see, they're about the same height, so I haven't really lost any of the height. Still an absolute massive figure. Oh, I've got my little custom Megatron here. I'll just put him side by side. Ah, he's tangled in my mouse. There you go. Megatron and Prime are taller than Bulkhead. He's just Bulkhead bigger. So you can see he's not really lost any of the height. So really nice there. and they just look really, I'm really happy with how they look. My only gripe is now he has absolutely no back. Now there is a panel. Let me just grab my pot of bits so I put it in here so I didn't lose it. Right, now like I said, there is a panel. It's currently in 2 bits because I was trying to maybe see if I can get it in there folded like that, and then but this part here just clips under there, and this bit here was originally pivoted onto here, and I have taken off the pivot bit because I was going to try and see if I can attach it on here, but when it's all collapsed up there's just no room for it. I've tried filing it down as much as I can to get it like in there when it's collapsed. And I'm still working on one idea, but I just don't know if I can do that. So that's kind of really bummed me out that I can't fit that in. And then these bits here, like I said, the other ones, they're in vehicle mode, they're that side, but in the robot mode they're this side. So what I was going to do is, they were originally attached to the side of this, is I've got a hinge, I can get a hinge that goes in there which can put them on either side, and that's pretty much what I'll probably do with them, just so they can move around. What I've had to do, what I didn't want to do, is I've had to sculpt out, took out the whole bottom part there because there was a little peg there, and I've flattened these as much as I can. Don't know how well you can see that with the light. You can see how flat they are. And then the bit I really didn't want to do is I've had to take out this bit here. If you actually look at the toy, these actually go up to about here, so I'm missing about maybe 1/3 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch on each gauntlet now, which does kind of like, I really didn't want to do that, but I still think it looks really good, and with a nice paint job that'll be hidden and look really great. And the other thing I had to do was I had to take out his inner elbow. Again, I really didn't want to do that, but when it's all bent up inside the actual vehicle, this part here is actually what rests on there. So he's now got a nice little chunk missing on that. But when he's standing up, you know, you can't really see it, and the elbows are normally behind anyway. It's not like he's ever really posing facing that way. So I'm not that, as much as I didn't want to, I'm okay. I took me half the time with this custom was actually just trying to come to terms with what I had to do to one of my favourite Transformers. But I looked online, I can get another one for about £30, so I went for it. You know, I figured if it does go completely and utterly tits up, then I couldn't still get a replacement. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, like, I really like how it looks so far. I just wish I could figure out something for his back. It's just so frustrating. The articulation, as you know, from the torso, but from the legs down, this part's getting a bit more free range, so it can actually go forward with the leg, so you can get a Spartan kick of that. So that's pretty cool. And then he's got a ridiculously split kick if I get his arm out of the way. And then you've got the single bend in the knees, and that's it, plus the upper thigh rotation, full 360. So great range of motion, almost identical to his previous ones. I just think these ones look a whole lot more show accurate. But you know, like I said, you guys tell me. I really like it. If you have any ideas to how I can get this on, I can glue this back together. That's not really a problem. So I can make it one sort of piece. I can even put these bits back on if you guys have any ideas. I just cannot figure out. I've cut out a little chunk from in there because I was hoping to maybe get it to go in there when it's in vehicle mode, to round that. But it's just these bits just now they get in the way of the legs when they're bent up, and I was hoping I could maybe scrunch that in there, but like I said, I'm really happy with it. To transform him back, you do basically, it's still very simple. The only real, I say difficult, the only real finesse part is actually lining up those pegs. But short of that, you know, it's absolutely fine. And this doesn't, I've done this out of the way so it doesn't get in the way of the transformation at all. If I like show you on this one, so like, oops, wrong way. No, don't come off. It came off. My bad. See, it clears the knee, clears the whatever you want to call that, the thigh muscle, and then I just clip that back on. My bad. That clears it absolutely fine. So that's why I've done it like half in and half out. So let me just do the transformation quickly, just so I can show you what I mean. All in all, over the moon with it. I think it looks really good. Did cry a little bit while I was making it, having to cut up my first edition Bulkhead, because yeah, it's just like such a great transformer. Right, now like I said, accordion this part in all the way up. It has like a slight, I don't know how I can show you that. There's a slight gap underneath it, so I might be able to squeeze like this plate in there. I have tried finessing with it, but we shall see. And then bring the feet forward. It's exactly the same as you do with the RID one. Right, let's just bring these like that, and then I'll bring the arms down so I can get the doors out of the way. As you said, you can see now what I was on about, that chunk that I had to take out is exactly where the hips go. So, and that plate there I had cut out, that's where they went. So like I said, very sad day, bad day. My silly little Jackie Chan adventures thing. Right, there we go. Yeah, I'm a big kid, I watch cartoons, deal with it. Okay, right, now like I said, the little bit of finessing, you just kind of have to line it up, get it all flat, and just have to make sure you line that up. Same in the other one, line it up. They're not all the way back, are they? There you go. So I didn't put the toes, or on off camera, I didn't put the toes all the way back, so I wasn't lining up. And that's it, just line them up. And finally, bring that down. And they do stay in pretty well. You know, I can... They've got a bit more freedom of movement, which is compared to like these when they were in there, because these just accordioned, well, reclined, whatever you want to call it. They just went up and then they just closed in on themselves, like that, and then you closed those, and that was basically all you had to do with them. And they couldn't really move because they were actually pegged together, so they were stuck like in this position. Well, actually, like that, they actually go up like that, so there was no movement for them to go. But as these are independent and they've only got a small peg, there is a bit more movement than I would like, but you know, I still think it's turned out really good, and I'm really happy with the result. Like I said, guys, please, if you can think of any way to incorporate this into that, from what you've seen from this video, then please let me know. I am taking a break from him now. I've spent literally a whole day just trying to figure out like one little bit on him. It's been a long process. But at the same time, I want to take a break, and I can't wait to finish getting the back on, the little bits on, give him a good paint job, and then I can show you the end result. But that's what I've got so far. I hope you guys like it. Please let me know. Leave comments below. As per usual, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.